Now, I'm pretty sure any avid baseball fan knows about the 1994 MLB baseball strike. The MLB baseball strike took place from August 12th and led all the way into the next season with no playoffs and no World Series. But there is a lot of question going on about what would have happened, who would have won the World Series, and things that could have happened if that, like, would have Tony Gwynn hit for 400, or would Vladimir Guerrero and the Montreal Expos win the World Series? There's many things that could have happened in this season. We may never know. World may never know. But this was leading into the All-Star break, one of probably baseball's greatest ever seasons, with a lot of guys like Pedro Martinez really turning into superstars. Really, there's a lot of there's a lot of things that people still wonder about this season, and I am here on MLB 18 to do a simulation to see what would have happened in that season, even though it's kind of non-realistic, but it's the closest thing we got to ever seeing what will happen in that season. So, yeah, basically, I got a downloaded roster from MLB 18 in franchise mode, and I will be controlling the Nationals, which we all know were the Expos, but I won't be making any moves. I will be keeping the MLB the exact way it was in 1994, and basically the point of this video is just to see what would have happened if that full season was played out. So let's get into it. Alright guys, we are back. As you can see, it's for the home debut for the Cincinnati Reds. Actually, surprisingly, it's not the Nationals dash Expos. We got Pedro Martinez versus Jorge Rejo. I don't know how to say his name, but at this point, I'm just gonna go over the rosters of every team and the pitching rotation. So as you can see, the Nationals got Ken Hill, Pedro Martinez, Jeff Fassaro, Kirk Ruder, Butch Henry. Bullpen, nothing special except for the righty John Wetterland. I don't even know if that's a real guy. Oh yeah, warning, now that I'm thinking about this, some of these guys he did put like were created. Like on the bench he has like a creative player, but he's not very good, so like don't mind that. If you see a name you don't know, it might be created. But as you can see, the Expos have Vladdy. They have Rondell White, Larry Walker, Moses Alou. You know, this was a championship contending team right here. Don't forget about younger Cliff Floyd in the bench, backup first baseman for Randy Milligan. Yeah. And yeah, Cliff Floyd. I think I'm about to pull up his age. Yep, 22 years old. So a younger him in this sequence. The Mets, they really have Bobby Bonilla, and that's it. The Phillies with Lanny Dykstra, excuse me, that's it. Pat Burrell, and yeah, that's about it. Cubs, they had a stacked team with Ron Sandberg, Sammy Sosa, and honestly, them two guys right there, that could have been enough to get you into at least the postseason. Reds have Barry Larkin and Deion Sanders. I never even knew he played for the Reds in this. The Rockies, they're not that good of a team. Dante Bichette, Joe Girardi, that's about it on this team. Dodgers, pretty stacked team. The Pizza Man, Mike Piazza, Delino DeShields Sr., not Jr., Eric Karros, that's about it. Padres, of course, they have Tony Gwynn, and that's honestly it for them. Derek Bell, you know, a few other decent guys, but none as good as Tony Gwynn. Giants have freaking Barry Bonds, and yeah, that's about it for this team. The Orioles have Rafael Palmeiro. I think I botched that. And Cal Ripken Jr. That's about it for this team. You know, there was a lot of stacked teams and then a lot of not so stacked teams. Here we got a very, very young Derek Jeter, Wade Boggs. The Blue Jays have Joe Carter, Sean Green, Paul Molitor, Roberto Alomar. They had a pretty stacked team right there. Oh, don't miss that. That was a young Carlos Delgado, too. Freaking the White Sox got Frank Thomas, man. Some of these teams are like super OP. This was also could have been another title contender. The Cleveland Indians with Kenny Lofton, Omar Vizquel, Albert Bell, Jim Thome, a young Manny Ramirez. They had a lot of good players on that team. Detroit with Alan Trammell, Kirk Gibson. That's about it. Angels have Harold Reynolds. Oh my gosh, I'm botching names left and right. They have Bo freaking Jackson. Even though his overall's not that good though. No lie. Athletics have Ricky Henderson, Mark McGuire. That's about it. I don't think they had the other guy at the time. Put it in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Do have a young Jason Giambi though. This is another stacked team right here. Alex Rodriguez, Alex Rodriguez, Ken Griffey, Texas Rangers. They have Odubie McDowell, Will Clark, a young Ivan Rodriguez, and the Astros have a pretty stacked team too. With Steve Finley, Jeff Bagwell, Luis Gonzalez, and yeah, that's about it. So like I was saying, a lot of teams in this, some of them are super bad and some of them are stacked. Now I believe, I don't show you the Rays, but say it if I'm not correct, I don't believe the Rays were an organization by this time. Same as the Marlins, but I still show you because they have Gary Sheffield. That was the only reason I showed them. And yeah, we just go through the pitching lineups right here now. There weren't that many notable names, you know. Had people like Kurt Schilling, Roger Clemens, you know, you got Pedro. It wasn't that many noticeable names at this time. Unless this guy who made the roster just forgot about a lot of players. Oh, I show you the Rays right here, even though they weren't an organization at this time. So they really suck because they don't have a good organization. I don't believe yeah, I think the Blue Jays were an organization at this time. Cleveland has a young Bartolo. Mariners got the freaking Randy Johnson, one of the best pitchers of all time. No denying that. No denying that. Atlanta got Greg Maddux and John Smoltz. It's a lot of good teams here. Mets with Brett Saberhagen. But like I was saying, it's a lot of stacked teams and it's a lot of trash teams. So we're going to see how this goes. Now this is by the All-Star break. Now we have simmed into the All-Star break. So the Cubs are on top of the NL Central with the Brewers and the Cardinals right behind them. Reds not doing too bad with Barry Larkin and Dion. And of course with Barry Bonds, the Giants are going to be leading the division with the Dodgers right behind them. NL wildcard, the Dodgers are leading, the Braves and the Nationals, the Expos right behind them. AL East with the Blue Jays, the Orioles, and the Rays behind them. AL Central, Indians, Tigers, and White Sox right behind them. The White Sox, I'm surprised they actually had a good lineup. Frank Thomas must be carrying. And the AL wildcard with the Rangers and the Tigers and White Sox behind us. I can't believe this. Mariano Rivera is gone. He has been traded to the Astros for Billy Wagner and some outfielders. Like, I had to add that clip in there because I could not believe it. That the Yankees really gave up, at this point, a super young Mariano Rivera for some outfielders. They're going to regret. If Yankees did that in real life, they would have totally regretted it. I mean, totally. Now, this is going into the day that the strike started, so August 24th. Oh, no, excuse me, August 12th. Yes, so this is all the teams that are doing good, teams that aren't doing too good right now. And I believe the next sequence of records I'll be showing you is the postseason. You see the Orioles are pretty on top there. Cal Ripken must be carrying. But this is the playoff bracket right here. So as you can see, got Washington, Dodgers, San Francisco, New York, Milwaukee, and the NL. Then on the AL, you got Texas, Detroit, Cleveland, and Baltimore and Seattle. So right here, I accidentally simmed through the first round, but I still do sim to the World Series, and the Rangers win the World Series in 5 games, beating out Barry Bonds and the San Francisco Giants. I don't know how this happened. Not at all. I mean, they had a decent team, but that wasn't nothing too... oh, never mind. Okay. Yeah. They had a jacked up Jose Canseco too. Wow. Okay. Ooh. That team is pretty stacked. I see how they beat Barry Bonds now. And they had a pretty good pitching rotation too. But guys, that's MLB's prediction of what will happen if we sim the 1994 season again. If you guys like this video, subscribe. It's your boy Jersey Zone, and I'll talk to you guys later.